Welcome to another edition of On Call. I'm Tabor, Public Information Officer for the Lakeville Fire Department. The goal of this program is to educate and inform the citizens of Lakeville about how Lakeville's all-volunteer fire department trains and responds to emergencies. Let's take a look at what's coming up on this edition of On Call. We'll meet with Captain Scott Bakos from Fire Station Number 1 to learn about drafting and pumping and how firefighters train for that. In Chief's Corner, we'll learn about Nite to Unite and some of the activities that took place around Lakeville. In Ask Tabor, I'll give you some information about fire extinguishers and how to care for them. In Did You Know, we'll share some information on new construction and how firefighters learn about what the interior of new buildings look like. Scratch takes us on an adventure as he tries to find out more information about this year's open house in October. And we'll wrap things up with Consumer Safety Checklist. I'm here at Lakeville's Central Maintenance Facility with Scott Bakos. Scott, you're captain at Station 1. Welcome to On Call.
Thanks, Tabor. Thanks for having me in.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
Absolutely.
We've got a training exercise that's unfolding here behind us. Why don't you give us a synopsis of what's happening?
Sure. Well, we're here training tonight strictly about what we call pumping and drafting. It's an operation of just basically operating the trucks and learning how to pump water for the guys that sometimes aren't as familiar with pumping water with the trucks.
Okay.
And keeping the guys very familiar with how to pump water with the trucks. We run into a lot of different situations and how we have to pump water with the trucks, depending on if we have a fire hydrants in the area, if we don't have fire hydrants in the area, because even though we're in the city of Lakeville and everybody thinks of the city of Lakeville as being this huge populated area, we still cover a lot of area with Eureka Township and other areas on the east and west sides of town that don't have fire hydrants, so we have to be prepared for those situations. Okay, so let's go back a little bit and do a little background. The trucks, we got 3 different trucks that are kind of behind us here. We've got 2 engines and the ladder. All 3 of those trucks have a tank on them full of water, right? Correct. Yep.
How much is on one of the engines?
Both the engines that are here, which we consider frontline pumpers, and each station has one,
okay,
carry roughly 750 gallons of water.
Okay. How about the ladder?
The ladder truck carries 300 gallons of water.
Okay, so obviously a significant difference there. On a structure fire, you know, somebody's house is on fire, show up with one of those frontline pumpers. About how long is that 750 gallons going to last spraying water on some hose lines?
Believe it or not, with the techniques that we learn on putting fires out, 750 gallons can go a long ways on a room and contents fire where the fire is contained to that room.
Okay.
If we have a heavily involved home, 750 gallons isn't going to last us long, so we definitely have to make sure we're prepared to have a water source right away. And no matter what kind of fire we go to, we always assume the worst, so we always plan to have that water source ready to go right away.
Okay, so we're talking with that water source with that tank, we don't want the firefighters to get inside, say, and then run out of water.
Correct.
So we want to have that.
That would be bad.
Yes. So let's talk a little bit about what are some options. You started talking about it a little bit before with hydrants. What are the water source options that are available to us in Lakeville?
Okay. The easiest water source we have that everybody knows of is those nice red fire hydrants sitting in people's yards. That would be our city's water main source. That gives us the easiest way to get water to the trucks. All the trucks have hoses on them, okay, ready to connect right away to those fire hydrants that we have in town.
Okay.
Now, in other scenarios, we get into areas like we talked about in Eureka Township, which is a large area south of town that doesn't have any fire hydrants.
Okay.
So now we get into a situation where we need to make sure we're bringing our water source to us, and the only way we can do that is to shuttle it on trucks that can carry lots of water.
Okay.
In Lakeville, we only have one that carries 3,000 gallons of water, which is called our tender.
Okay.
It's stationed out of Station 1, which is the southernmost station, being that we need to get it as quickly out there as we can. But right away, if we know we're going to a fire that we have no water, we really are calling all of our neighbors. We're going to call Newmarket, we're going to call Farmington, we may call Northfield. The cities that also have non-hydrant areas have tanker trucks also, and they're the ones that are going to help us supply water, and we're under mutual aid agreements with them to come help us anytime we need them. And
okay,
we also go help them if they need water too with our tenders.
So let's say that's the scenario, we're out in a non-hydranted area, we've got a fire where those tenders are coming out. Are they pulling up alongside the engine and then just transferring the water over? How's that? Tell us how that works.
What happens is our tenders carry what are called drop tanks.
Okay.
Our tender happens to have 3 of them on it in various sizes. The 2 largest holding 3,000 gallons of water. The smallest one holding half of that at 1,500 gallons of water. What'll happen is it basically looks like, I tell people it looks like a large swimming pool.
Yeah, yep.
What we would do is we position our frontline pumper, which is going to be the first truck on scene, to get laid out with hoses and everything. About that time, our tender truck's going to show up, drop that drop tank alongside the pumper truck, because the pumper truck is going to use a special hard suction hose, drop it in that tank. Then we drop the water out of the tender truck into that drop tank. The engine proceeds to suck that water out of that tank and pump the water. The tender leaves right away and goes finds the closest water source it can, wherever the closest fire hydrant is, whether it's in Newmarket, Northfield, maybe Lakeville, maybe Farmington, depending on wherever the closest one is that we can draw water from. The tender's going to head out right away and go after that water source.
Okay.
When our tender leaves, we're hoping like crazy that the next tender from one of the other cities, one of the other communities is arriving on scene, so we can kind of get a shuttle system going where we got tender trucks shuttling back and forth to keep that constant water supply so we never run out of water.
And then it's possible at the same time to set up additional drop tanks as well, so that should that one drop tank be full and the tender's there, it could dump it into the next drop tank and we could get a flow system going that way.
Absolutely. We could set up multiple drop tanks beside each other. If it gets to the point where we have that drop tank and that engine set up in a kind of an awkward position, we can put them drop tanks beside each other also, so now we can drop the water out of those tender trucks into that outside drop tank, and then we can actually make the water go from that drop tank to the inner one and make it work so it's easier. We're trying to make it as easy for those tenders to be able to back up, drop their load as quick as they can and get out of there and go get more water.
Sure. So I think we've done a pretty good job, Scott, of getting a general picture of what's happening with the different types of trucks. We've talked about the ladder, we've talked about the engines, talked about the tender truck. Let's switch perspectives and wrap things up by talking about it from the homeowner's perspective. We've talked about it from the firefighter's perspective. You drop in the hose, we're connected to different trucks. If this is happening to someone at their house, what do you think this might look like from the homeowner's perspective?
Well, definitely from the homeowner's perspective, I know we always get those comments from people sometimes, what takes so long? What took you so long to get there? In reality, it's quick. If you actually look at the actual times, it's happening really fast. Initially, when we get there, you may think it takes a long time, but initially it's going to take us a little bit of time to get all those hoses pulled out, to get those drop tanks set up, to get everything set up so we're ready to do a proper attack into that house. We're not going to send guys into that house unless we know we have a solid water supply ready to go, because obviously for us, the most important thing to us is our firefighter safety, along with your safety also as a homeowner. But when it comes to firefighter safety versus property preservation,
right,
your things are important to us, but we have to think about our firefighters being number one for safety also.
Absolutely. Life safety is the first priority.
Absolutely.
So the other piece that I think this emphasizes a little bit is the importance of keeping those hydrants clear, so that we have access to that in-hydranted area.
Absolutely. You don't want to keep hydrants cluttered. Wintertime, we talk about it all the time, keeping them shoveled out for us. We have maintenance facility guys with the city that go around and test them annually, take the caps off, make sure they're not rusting on. It does happen. We may find a fire hydrant that doesn't work properly. That's why they're spaced out so closely together. We just move on to the next one and find another one, and we have ways of getting water. If we have to go farther down the street, like we're showing here, we may set up a relay situation where we have one pumper sit beside the hydrant. We run a long hose to the next pumper up by the house, and we relay pump to pump that pressure, because the fire hydrant itself may not have enough pressure to push the water up that street, but we're going to use the truck to assist the water going up that street.
Great. Excellent. Well, this has been really informative. You can see that there's a lot of activity happening behind us, so I'll let you get back to that. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you. Thanks for having me here.
Yeah, you're welcome, Scott. We're extending an invitation for our viewers to send us in a question about anything having to do with the fire department. Later in our program, I'm going to read a question that I got from one of our viewers, answer the question, and for sending it in, he's going to win a Lakeville Fire Department t-shirt. If you'd like to participate, send us your question using the email address or the mailing address on your screen.
If stormwater pollution was rubber duckies, then it wouldn't matter what went down our storm drains. But it does, because stormwater pollution is not rubber duckies. It's trash. Oil, cigarette butts, and pet waste flowing untreated to our lakes and rivers. And that's not good for any of us, because we all live downstream. So take a minute and help keep our waters clean, because clean water means quality of life. So keep it clean, Minnesota.
Did you know that as new construction goes up throughout the city of Lakeville, Lakeville firefighters occasionally tour some of these new construction sites. These tours are usually led by the Lakeville Fire Marshal and provide firefighters an opportunity to see how the facility is laid out, some of the equipment that might be in the facility that might be of specific interest in an emergency, where exits are, sprinklers, etc., and also give firefighters some background on where things like the electrical panel, gas connections, and residents might be of different buildings like that. Lakeville firefighters recently toured the Highview Hills senior housing facility near downtown Lakeville. This has provided firefighters a great opportunity to see the new construction as it's coming together but is yet to be finished, and gives us an opportunity to get some information that we could use if we're called to respond to an emergency at this facility. Past practice has taught us that these tours are very beneficial, and as new construction continues throughout the city of Lakeville, we're trying to increase the number of tours so that we can get that background information on the new construction as it's being built.
Fire Chief Scott Nelson here with another segment of Chief's Corner. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We're going to go out and see what Nite to Unite is all about and follow some of our firefighters, police officers, and ambulance personnel as they go out throughout the neighborhoods this first Tuesday of the month to celebrate Nite to Unite. So let's go on out there and have some fun. On Nite to Unite, all our fire stations open up their doors and we take all our apparatus out throughout the different neighborhoods and try to attend as many of the parties as possible. This year we had a record 90 parties to go to, and we really tried to make every single one of them, whether it was with the fire trucks, the police cars, or the ambulances. We find it necessary and our pleasure to go meet the various neighborhoods and just to show people that we like to keep our neighborhoods safe from crime, and we even send fire prevention tips with our firefighters so that people learn about that in their neighborhoods. So all in all, it's a fun-filled evening. We get to meet the neighbors, people become comfortable with their public safety personnel. We all have a lot of fun, and quite frankly, we appreciate the community embracing this evening. As long as that happens, Lakeville Fire will be happy to participate in an evening such as this.
Could one of these people start a deadly fire? Careless smoking is the #1 cause of fire fatalities. However, most fires are preventable. So, will one of these people start a deadly fire? It's up to them. You can protect your family and your home from fire. Visit GetYourButtOutside.com. Brought to you by the Minnesota State Fire Chiefs Association and the Minnesota Fair Plan.
And now it's time for you, the viewer, to ask a question, where you have the chance to win a t-shirt in another exciting edition of Ask Tabor.
For this edition of Ask Tabor, we've got a question from Dave in Lakeville, and Dave's asking about care of his fire extinguisher. Specifically, Dave wants to know if he needs to flip the fire extinguisher upside down and smack the bottom to mix the chemicals. This is common on older fire extinguishers, but it isn't something you need to do on a modern or newer fire extinguisher. If you have questions about the fire extinguisher, whether you still need to do it, you're welcome to call the fire department at 952-985-4700, and either the fire inspector, fire chief, or fire marshal may be able to give you some more information about that, Or if you think the extinguisher needs service, your best bet is bringing it into one of your local hardware stores, and they may be able to provide service for you, or they may be able to replace the extinguisher if it's outdated. The best way to know if it's outdated is to check the gauge that's on there. Look for the needle. It should be in the green on the fire extinguisher. Hope that helps, Dave. Thanks for sending your question in. We've got a t-shirt for you for your troubles. And if anyone else has a question they'd like to have answered on Ask Tabor, feel free to send me an email using the email address on your screen, or mail us in a question at 20190 Holyoke Avenue in Lakeville, Minnesota, 55044. Thanks, Dave.
It is I, Scratchy the Fire Dog, because I like to scratch you out of the fires. Oh, that's a good one. Oh, that's the one that cracks me up all the time. Hey, everyone, I'm here in fire station number 1, and hey, the chief has me assigned to do some little cleanup in here, but I can't help but start to think about the big open house that's coming up pretty soon, and oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, I just can't help but to remember the last time I got to help out with that open house. Boy, it was so cool, and well, it kind of went something like this. Hey, so I want to talk to the chief about what I could do to help out. Then we got into our old argument about who was a better firefighter. Well, then he got out his stick and told me to go help Jay O'Connell, and I agreed. Hey, Jay, it's me, Scratch the Fire Dog. How you doing, pal?
Great, Scratch, but I'm very busy.
Hey, I know today's the big day of the fire department open house, and the chief said that I should come up here and talk to you because you'd have some jobs for me to help out today.
I'm so happy the chief said you could help me. What we need to do,
yes.
Scratch, let me get you one of our hats here.
A hat?
All the kids are going to have these hats
that's so cool.
Is that going to make you feel better?
I look like a drip.
No, you look like a junior firefighter.
Oh, I do. I love it to fight the fires.
But
yeah.
I need lots of help. Can you move all of these boxes here? All the hats, my safety ladder, all this? And then meet me at the old Public Works. We got to get the antique fire truck up to Station 4.
Oh,
Okay?
Yes, let's
all
go.
Right,
Oh,
I'll meet you there.
I'm stuck to the hat of the... Okay, take it easy. Pull it out slowly. Okay, slowly. Hey, that's a good... Hey, watch out. Hey, you're going to run over the ends. Take it easy. Oh, that's looking good. Hey, Jay, how you doing? You got here a little late.
Yeah, well, this is the safety trailer. We got to get this up to Station 4. But, Scratch, I need you for the antique.
Well, hey, I just hooked up the trailer to the truck. You need me for more help?
Yep, so behind my vehicle, the next garage, we got to get the antique.
Okay, let's do it. Come on, let's go. Hey, now we're here by the antique fire truck. Hey, Jay, did you figure out how to get this thing going?
We're trying.
Okay. Oh, hey, it's groaning. It's groaning. Should I go back and push?
No, give it some more gas.
Okay, here. Go, baby.
We got to give her some more gas. Let's try again.
What'd you say? You've got some gas? Oh, hey, look at there we go. Here we go. Hey, way to go, Jay. Of course, it's Wednesday now.
Scratch, you gonna get in?
Oh, hey, let's get in. Okay, here we go. Oh, this is so cool. We're going to be all set for the open house today. This is so cool. This is great. I'm just going to be here. Ah! Hey, got to put it into first gear. Yeah, there you go. That's good. Get it into first gear. Steve here. He's got me all the way here, although I'm freezing. Should have worn my winter fur. Hey, here we go. Da-da-da, we made it, everybody! Hey! Oh, the that is so exciting memories. It was so great. Hey, I wonder if they'll let me hop on the truck this year and be part of the open house. Hey, I better head down and talk to my good friend Jay O'Connell, because he's going to update me on all the exciting activities here at the open house this year. That way. Jay! Jay, where are you? Oh, Jay, there you are. Jay, why is it every time there's something important going on here in the fire department, you're cleaning this ridiculous bell?
Because you haven't cleaned it, Scratch.
Hey, I'm not going to clean it. Jay, there's more important things. I understand there's a fire open house coming here pretty soon, and I thought it'd be so exciting to ride in the truck and do the things, but I want to find out more about it. Jay, tell me about it.
Well, you're lucky. We got the poster hanging right here.
Hey, funny you should have that right there.
And the ladder truck's going to be featured. We're going to do a demonstration. The guys are going to set up the truck.
Yeah.
Then we're going to have North Helicopter come in at 7:15. At 7:45, we're going to have an auto extrication demonstration.
Yeah?
And at 8:15, we're going to have a car fire.
Oh, very cool. Hey, can I drop water balloons off the Letter 1 demo?
No, we're going to have children underneath there.
Oh, well, that was the whole idea, Jay. Hey, Jay, this is a lot of cool and fun stuff, but I don't think I can remember all this. Is there a location that I can go to get the information on this open house?
We actually have it on our website.
Oh, what is that, Jay?
LakevilleMN.gov.
Oh, I love that website. I wish I could kiss it.
And you could print out a sheet small enough for you to carry with you.
Oh, that's awesome, Jay. Oh, it's going to be a fun event this year. Are you going to be there, Jay?
I will.
Oh, good.
But you got to put it on your calendar. Tuesday, October 6th, Fire Station 4 from 6 to 9 p.m.
All right, so that's a Tuesday, October 6th, Fire Station 4 from 6 to 9 p.m. Jay, I'll be there. And can I drive one of the trucks?
No, you can't.
They always say that because I'm a dog. Well, thanks a lot, Jay, for the info, and we'll see you at the open house. So until next time, everybody, this is the Scratch of the Fire Dog, because I like to scratch out the fires, and I'm going to put that date on the calendar. I can hardly wait. We'll see you next time. Goodbye, everybody.
HomeLight Consumer Products Incorporated of Anderson, South Carolina announces the recall of about 51,000 HomeLight, Husky, and Black Max brand generators. The fuel gauge can leak excessive amounts of gasoline, posing a fire hazard to consumers. These generators were sold at Home Depot and Sam's Club stores nationwide from July 2008 through May 2009 for between $480 and $1,600. Consumers should immediately stop using their generator and contact HomeLight Consumer Products for a free repair kit. You can contact HomeLight at 1-800-242-4672 or visit the firm's website at www.homelight.com. Energizer of St. Louis, Missouri announces the recall of about 3,000 Energizer Light on-demand wall plate nightlights. The nightlight can overheat, especially if additional devices are plugged into its outlets, posing a fire hazard to consumers. These nightlights were sold at mass merchandisers, office supply stores, and various other retailers nationwide and on the web from August 2008 through July 2009 for about $26. Consumers should immediately stop using this recalled nightlight, unplug it, and contact Energizer for information on returning the light to receive a full refund. You can contact Energizer at 800-782-2013 or visit the firm's website at www.energizer.com. Walter Kidd Portable Equipment Incorporated of Mebane, North Carolina announces the recall of about 94,000 Kidd model P1 2000 dual sensor smoke alarms. An electrostatic discharge can damage the unit, causing it not to warn consumers of a fire. This recall involves Kidd dual sensor smoke alarm model P1 2000. These smoke alarms were sold nationwide at retail, department, and hardware stores and through electrical distributors nationwide from August 2008 through May 2009 for between $30 and $40. Consumers should contact Kidd immediately to receive a free replacement smoke alarm. You can contact KID toll-free at 877-524-2086 or visit the firm's website at www.kid.com. Campbell Horsfield of Harrison, Ohio, announces the recall of about 16,000 Campbell Horsfield air compressors. The compressor's thermal overload, which shuts the unit off when it overheats, can fail. This can lead to overheating, melting of parts, and a risk of fire. These compressors were sold nationwide at Walmart stores from January 2009 through June 2009 for about $250. Consumers should immediately stop using the recalled air compressor and return it to any Walmart for a full refund. For additional information, contact Campbell Horsfield at 800-241-0448 or visit the firm's website at www.chpower.com.
Thanks for joining us for this edition of On Call. If you have questions, comments, an idea for a show, or a question for Ask Tabor, please give us a call at 952-985-4700 or use the email address on the screen and send me an email. Thanks for joining us. All fire units are clear.